Welcome to another edition of Learning Photoshop the Easy Way. In this edition, we're going to create an action that will enable us to convert to black and white using an automated process. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to load 3 color images. So I'm just going to go to where they're stored, and I've got them selected, and I'm just going to pull them down, put them over Photoshop, and load to Photoshop. Now I've got my 3 color images for my examples loaded. Where do you find the action? Well, you're going to find the action under your window, and you're going to find it under 3D. So there's actions. Once we click on the action, you will find that you're going to have some default actions that come with Photoshop. We're going to create one. The first thing we're going to do is, you notice that we've got a little folder, and I'm going to have to create another folder, and down here we've got a folder icon, and if I click on the folder icon, and I'm going to call this Joel's Actions. I'm going to click OK. So now what we've actually done is we've created a folder in order to store our action in. And with this action selected, we're now going to add to it. So the plus button. You'll find that we're going to add an action, and we're going to have it in the set called Joel's Actions. And the action that we're going to create is convert to black and white. And then we're going to click the record button. It's fine. First thing we're going to do is we're just going to double click on the background of the image, and let's call it master. And we're going to say OK. Now, as we go down to the bottom, we're going to find these icons, and it's a little half moon icon. We're going to click on it, and what we're actually going to choose is solid color. It's the very first one, and we now have got a solid color on the screen, which is black by default. And let's just go down through it, and that is that all of the indicators on the left hand side, they all should be zeros, and you've got your L, A and B is 0, and the C, M, Y, K should be left as is, containing whatever numbers exist. The next thing we need to do is we need to map this black and white to the color image that lies below, and it will convert using the tones of the color that are in the color image. Rename, we're just going to say, we're going to click OK. And when we do this, we want to change the blend mode. And you see where normal is your blend mode drop down menu, where you can choose a different blend mode. And the one that we're going to choose is color. Okay, so we're just going to go right down to the bottom. And you'll see second from the bottom is color. And when we click color, and what I want to do now is I just want to double click here and put a label on it, convert to black. To black and white. Okay, now the final thing that we need to do is we need to just have a look at the levels that exist in this image. And we're going to go down to the little half moon shape again. I'm going to click on it, and we're going to select levels. Now, on some of the images, not all of them, some of them, you'll see a little triangle with an exclamation mark on it. And that means that we need to correct it in line with the computer's suggestions. So if we click on it, you'll see some movement in this graph. And what I normally do is you can adjust to taste. And this is, you're adjusting to taste. I'm just going to pull over a little bit. And I think that that is acceptable. At this point, what we need to do is we need to stop the save, which is on our action. So we just go back to the window and look at actions, and we want to effectively stop the action. So we're going to click this little button here, this little square button, and we have now effectively stopped the action. So this particular action, if we load another image, for instance, we load this image, and we want to run the action. So we're going to click on the very first line of the action and press the arrow key. And we have a black and white image. So finally, let's review our images. I'm going to just switch off, and we've got our color image below. We have our black and white level, and we have our adjustments. And we now have a black and white image. What we can do with this black and white image is we can flatten this image. And I'm going to store it back. I'm going to save it. Save as to the computer as a JPEG. And in this instance, it's going to be BW.